Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the massive shift happening in personal health, like right now, in 2025. We're talking about how artificial intelligence is moving from some sci-fi concept into a real tool in our everyday lives, creating a health plan that might just know you better than you know yourself.
Just think about that for a second. What if you had a wellness plan that didn't just give you the same old generic advice, but actually built recommendations perfectly for your unique body and your lifestyle? Well, that is the core promise of AI wellness. And honestly, it's changing everything.
And that brings us to a really huge point. We are literally watching the end of the one-size-fits-all era of health. You know, the days of someone just telling you to eat 2,000 calories or exercise 30 minutes a day, those days are pretty much over.
And you can really see the difference here. We're moving away from those static, kind of generic guidelines of the past. The future is all about being dynamic and hyper-personalized. AI is using real-time data from your life to make constant little tweaks and adjustments. We're basically shifting from guessing what works for our bodies to knowing.
And just so we're clear, this is not some small niche trend. According to McKinsey, the global wellness market is worth over $2 trillion, and AI-driven solutions are right at the front of this massive industry. The scale is just mind-boggling.
So when we say hyper-personalization, what does that actually mean? Well, it's this process right here. It's about AI pulling together all the data from your watch, your apps, and even from deeper stuff like genetic tests, and using it all to build a health plan that is constantly learning and evolving right along with you.
Okay, so that's the big picture. But how does this stuff actually pop up in our day-to-day lives? Let's break it down into a few key areas.
First up, nutrition. AI is going way beyond just counting calories. It's analyzing everything from what you eat, to your allergies, to even the unique bacteria in your gut, all to figure out exactly how your specific body responds to different foods.
And this is where it gets real. Take this story about John. Oats, right? A supposedly healthy food was actually messing with his performance. An AI tool helped him figure that out and make a simple swap to quinoa, and boom, his focus improved. That's what we're talking about.
Next, let's talk about sleep. We all know it's super important, but trying to actually improve it can feel like a total mystery. AI tools, usually through wearables like an Oura ring or a Whoop strap, are breaking down your sleep stages and heart rate to give you advice you can actually use.
And you might think this is just for tech geeks, but it's not. According to CNET, almost a third of all adults in the US are already using these kinds of tools to get better rest. This tech is officially gone mainstream.
Look at Maria's story. For her, the AI was able to connect the dots between a specific habit, late-night screen time, and a very specific outcome, lousy deep sleep. And it didn't just flag the problem, it suggested a solution that led to a measurable 20% improvement. That's huge.
Okay, moving on to fitness. You can pretty much forget about those static workout PDFs you download. AI-powered apps are like having a personal trainer in your pocket 24/7. They build workouts that are constantly changing the intensity, the weights, the reps, all based on how you're actually doing.
And this kind of smart adjustment is what gets real results. Alex had a clear goal, and the AI built a plan that progressed with him, adapting every single week. It took all the guesswork out of the equation and delivered a real, tangible outcome.
And finally, and this one is so important, mental health. AI is making mental wellness tools more accessible than they have ever been. We're talking about apps that can offer guided meditations or even simple cognitive behavioral therapy exercises that are tailored to how you're feeling right now, giving you support at the exact moment you need it.
And this isn't just a gimmick, it's actually working. A Forbes report found that 40% of people using these tools say they're actively reducing their stress. This is opening up a whole new, powerful way for people to get daily mental health support.
So, okay, the potential here is obviously massive, but where on earth do you even start? Let's put together a simple playbook you can use to make this tech work for you.
All right, first step is just picking the right tool. And you don't have to do everything at once. Just focus on your main goal. For example, if you really want to dial in your sleep, something like the Oura ring is probably your best bet. For general fitness, there's always Fitbit. If you want to go deep on nutrition, you could look at Zoe. And for mental health, an app like Woobot is built specifically for that. The key is just to match the tool to your #1 goal. And once you have your tool, getting started is actually pretty simple. 1, just use it for about a week to get your baseline data. 2, set a clear, measurable goal. 3, start following the recommendations the AI gives you. And 4, this is the most important part, keep an eye on your progress and adjust as you go. It's a constant feedback loop. Okay, this all sounds pretty amazing, right? But with any powerful new tech, we've got to talk about the fine print. There are definitely some important things to keep in mind here.
And look, the biggest elephant in the room is data privacy. According to Forbes, a full 60% of users are worried about how their very sensitive health data is being used and stored. And that is a completely valid and serious concern.
Beyond just privacy, there are a couple of other big things to watch out for. We have to be really careful not to become too reliant on the tech. And we also have to think about making sure everyone can access these tools, because right now, some of them can be pretty expensive.
Which brings us to what is probably the single most important rule of all. These tools are incredible supplements, but they do not replace a doctor. Think of the AI as your co-pilot, not the pilot. For any serious health issues, you always consult a human professional.
So when you put it all together, where does this leave us? Well, we're at this incredible moment where technology is giving us the power to understand and manage our own health with a kind of precision that was unimaginable a few years ago. Because ultimately, that's what's happening. Our health is becoming a stream of data. The question isn't really about whether we can get the data anymore, it's about what we do with it. With these new tools, we're being handed the keys to the boardroom of our own well-being. So the final question is, are you ready to be the CEO?